Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our class discussion. Our subject is fundamentals in food science and technology. Okay, so when we are talking about fundamentals or the food science and technology, basically, usa may mosulod sa atong mga hunahuna. Ang mosunod sa atong hunahuna, maingon ta, science, idea, or thoughts, may technology. What we have now is the application of technology in the society. So, when we are talking about food science and technology, it is the concept by food science and applied by the technology with the use and the help of tools and equipments. Okay, so let's proceed into our discussion this morning with regards to food science and technology. Okay, class, if we are talking about food science and technology, there is a concept and also there is an application. Kay dili man ta makaingon lang nga if there is a concept, di po ta makaingon lang nga anhara kutob. There should be an application. Kay kung wala siya application class, the concept will be useless. So, mao ni siya ang role ni food science and technology. Whereas food science in here, let's talk about the meaning of food science. So, it's been stated here that food science is an applied science used to study the nature of the food, cause of their deterioration, and principles underlying food processing. Okay, always consider the word is the applied science used to study the following. Nganong gitawag man siyang applied science class? It's because they are applying what is the concept, the idea, or the theory. So, to have an easier understanding with food science and technology, remember that science is the concept. Mao ni siya ang konsepto, mao ni siya ang idea, the knowledge, no? The knowledge nga nabuo after the study, after the research, mao ni siya ang nahitabo nga concept. Nganong niingon man ka after the research, sir? It's because it's been stated here that it is an applied study for science used to study the following. Nature of the foods. Okay, gistudihan niya ang nature of the food. Unsa man ni siya nga klase nga pagkaon, asa man ni siya gikan, unsa man ni nga variety from root crops ba ni, from fruits ba ni siya, or asa man ni siya gikan nga pagkaon, unsa may iyang nature. Okay? Next is causes of their deterioration. Nganong malata man ni nga pagkaon? What are the causes? What are the possible things? Nganong malata man ni siya nga pagkaon? There are possibilities, class, that a food deteriorate because of its natural being, the natural components itself. Like for example, may ingunta nga nalata ang pagkaon, it's because sa man, kung natural gani siya class kay moingon ta og dahinog sa punuan, na overripe. So mo na siyang nag-anam siya ka deteriorate. It's because kung sa tao pa na siya, nagkatiguwang na siya no. Nag-aanam na siya og mature. Naanam na siya kahinog. Mao na siyang one of the causes sa deterioration. And then another things is principles underlying food processing. Sir, nganong niabot man ta sa principles underlying in food processing? It's because class kay ang ato amang gong kuan number one purpose nganong natin food science and technology. It's because food scientists want to study about the food and its nature and the causes of their deterioration para ma-process nato siya. What is the purpose of processing the ICER? It is to extend the lifespan of our food. No? Sa ang iyahang kuan, ang iyang kadugayon nga pwede pa siyang makaon, ang iyahang kadugayon nga dugay siya mo deteriorate. That's why it is also part sa food science to study its deterioration. Di ba? Ang concept class kay kumingon ta, science is nag-study. So after mag-study class is kumingon ta na anay idea na build, na anay theory nga na build, na anay concepto nga na build. So unsa may buhaton after ana? But before that, let's proceed to the meaning of food science. So, as what we mentioned, food science in here in paragraph 1 talks about it is the study of physical, biological, and chemical makeup of food. This is the causes of food deterioration and the concept underlying food processing. Mo to mention gani ha. And the second paragraph is food scientists and technologists apply scientific disciplines, including chemistry, engineering, microbiology, and nutrition, to the study of food to improve the safety, nutrition, wholesomeness, and availability of the food. So, class, kung sa food science and technology, sa food science and technology, kung sa food preservation pa, mauni siya ang huna-huna, mauni siya ang nagkotok sa idea, unsa may angay buhaton para ma-preserve ang pagkaon, what are the processes, what are the ways, kanang ato ang paghimo og bulad, ang kanang paghimo og kimchi, paghimo og atsara, there is a concept of before ta nagbuhat ana na ay konsepto nga gistadihan para ma-assure nga ang atong gibuhat nga pagkaon walay delikado nga chemical reaction, no? It is very needed nga kinahanglan gyud nga atong studihan, and we assure that the food that we are preparing is good and in condition and safety. Nga naman, we will be delivering that, we will be selling that in the future. Sir, for consumption raman amua, yes, it is still parts ato ang safety nga bisan pag consumption na class ato yung siguraduon nga ang ato ang pagkaon is limpyo o presentable once nga ato ang iserve sa ato ang pamilya and to pamilya o sa ato ang mga customers. So maog yun ay angay natong huna-hunaon. Okay? So on the third paragraph class, it's been said that depending on their area of specialization, food scientists may develop ways to process preserved, package, and or store food according to industry and government specification and regulations. Okay, when we are talking depending on their specialization, for example, I am good at wine, I am expert in studying with the wines and making um, juices or unsa pa man diha mga liquors or liqueurs. So I will be focusing on my mastery of field. Of course, anha man ko na master nga field, anha sad nako ang area ang ako ang fokusan, di ba? Kay lisod man sad og mo adto ta sa usa ka field. Mo study ta sa usa ka field nga dili na to mastery. Of course, magkasayop-sayop ta. Okay? So it is clear sa atoang mga nahuna class atong ibat-bat ug ato gyud ato igyud isud sa atong hunahuna nga food science is the concept. Food science is the idea. This is the theory, no? Mao ni siya ang theory. Okay. So, sir, we're done with the concept, we're done with the idea which is food science. Unsa man daay pod ni si food technology? Okay, let's talk about food technology class. Unsam da ini si food technology? Okay, so food technology is the application of food science. That means class, kung si food science is ang concept, si technology is the application. But technology is enough lang ba? Moingon ka, the technology nga ato ang kon enough lang ba dili lang, of course gamiton gyud nato siya ipa-function gyud nato siya with the help of the tools and equipment, no? Ang kanang atong mga tools of equipment, that is the result of the innovative technology. Okay? So, sa ato ang food and technology, we are using tools and equipment para makahimo tag output from the concept which is food science or the idea, and technology, the application which are using tools and equipments is equals to product development. Okay? Dili man ta makahimo class og mingon ra ta. Okay, na concept. Unsa mo ng concept, unsa mo ng idea if dili na to lihokon. Okay, dapat lihokon gyud nato siya ang atuang food science nga concept plus food technology with the help of tools and equipments. That means naatay nindot nga outcome. Okay, for what area man ta sir? Okay, for the food technology, the selection process. Okay, sa pag-harvest baron, as selection process na to, dapat sa selection process pa lang, maingat ang pagka-harvest ng ating mga prutas. For example, so dapat careful ta when we are harvesting the food or the fruits para dili mabunog. Okay, kay pang-export ni siya. And then, ang ato ang kuan, for example, ano yun po, food preservation. The concept and the idea of food preservation atong i-apply. There are different types of kanang kuan, food preservation. So mao to siya gi-apply, naghimog bulad, naghimog ginamos, okay? Natay curing, na ay salting, na ay pickling, na ay drying, na ay heating. So lahi-lahi ang pamaagi. Lahi-lahi o mga processes, no? Lahi-lahi ang mga types of food preservation which came from the theory or the idea, then being applied by food science and by applied for food technology. Okay, so we have packaging. Sir, included the ay gahapon ng packaging? Yes. Because always remember class, when you are done with the food preservation, atong man na siyang storage. And storage also plays a vital role, no, when we are preserving food. Nga naman, it is because sa storage nato class, we always consider different factors. Like for example, if the area nga imuhang gistore, for example, ang kan nga imuhang gistoran is unsa man siya, sterilize man ni siya, na sanitize man ni siya. Okay, after ana, ang area nga imuhang gibutangan, dili ba mula pa sa danger temperature? Dili ba siya mainitan? Di ba kayo kuan po too much kay kabugnaw? No? Kay when we are always dealing with storage, dapat naatay mga specifications depende sa atuang produkto nga i-store. Okay? The distribution. Of course, when you are distributing, what also may mga butang nga imong ginagamit when you are distributing or gipang kuan nimo gipanghatag na ang inyong mga kuan, for example sa inyong consumers, gidistribute nimo or sa inyong mga suppliers. Upon the distribution, unsa may inyong gibuhat, di ba? Unsa may idea nga ni come up ninyo and what are the application nga inyong gibuhat? Unsa man ang mga, for example, ani class is delivery. Di ba? Ang pag-deliver, that is a form of distribution. Next is use of safe, nutritious, and wholesome food. Okay. When we are preserving class, dapat ang atong pagkaon dili pod ingon nga deteriorated na daan atong gi-preserve, dili pod na siya ingon nga maayo gino, pero that is one common thing to preserve the food. But kung may nguntag for the consumption of our consumers, of course dapat standard sad ang atuang ihatag nga pagkaon or nga produkto. Of course, di lang ingon nga ngatong ang target when we are having or nagkuanta nag food preserve ta ang atong target is para ma-prolong lang gyud ang lifespan sa ato ang pagkaon. No class, dili lang kana ang ato ang i-consider. We must also consider sa mga nutritional factors, no? Ang okay pa ba ang food? Di ba gyud ingon nga nawa na ba ang mga nutritional value content ani kay there are some other processes class, for example fruits and vegetables and other meats baron or juices. There are one of them nga dili ka angay gud sa usa ka process, like for example curing, di man na pwede of course malahi na ng lasa sa imong juice ug imong i-cure unsaon na may imong pagkaon ana. Okay, di ba? Depends also for the raw ingredients nga imuhang ginagamit, no? So kung ang imuhang ginagamit nga raw ingredients is strawberry, dapat ang nutritional factors sa strawberry is naa paghihapon na maintain paghihapon siya, wala siya nawala. So that is one of the important thing gihapon nga to ang i-consider. Okay, so food science and food technology, according to what we've mentioned, food technology is the application of food science to the selection, preservation, processing, packaging, distribution, and use of safe food. Okay, it is also related to fields include analytical chemistry, biotechnology, engineering, nutrition, quality control, and food safety management. Okay. So, what does a food scientist do? Kinsam da ining mga food scientist class, mao ni sila ang nag-study with the that came up with the concept or the idea. Class, it's a really hard thing nga mo come up ka with a idea or the knowledge or the concept if wala pa nimo studyhi, or else there are some other people, there are already concept existing. No? There are mga concept nga nag-exist, mga idea nga nag-exist, but they conduct another study that will create also or will result into another concept or idea. So, who is or unsa may ginabuhat kinsa man ni si food scientist? So, food scientist, they studies the physical, microbiological, and chemical makeup of food. Imagine, they will be studying the physical nature of the food, the microbiological content of the food, the chemical makeup of the food. It is really hard, class. Kaya naman, kung kita lang ang mga HM, di ta makaingon yun nga makafocus ta ana og study. No, di gyud nato na siya it should be major gyud ta as food scientist. We master those things. No, kay na may mga concept, na may mga kuan, mga idea, na may mga mixtures nga pwedeng maingunta nga pwedeng dili, pwede pong pwede. No? So food scientists may also develop ways. Of course, when they study class, sila may nag-study sa concept, of course, they may also develop ways to process food. No? Ang pag-process sa atong pagkaon. Like, for example, the cooking techniques, the cooking procedure, mao na ang ato ang sa ato ang pag-process. What are the basic food preparation? No, na topic naman na nato sa tong kitchen essentials, na mga basic and standard and basic food preparation. So here next is preserving food. Okay, the concept in preserving food. There are different ways in preserving our food. Mao na siya, class, that there are food preservation nga pwede sa usa ka pagkaon, pwede sang dili pwede. It's because of its process. Okay? So we have it here, another thing, packaging of the food. Okay, of course, ang packaging, as what I've said, ang kaning packaging is importante po kay ni siya. It's because kung unsa man po nature sa imong pagkaon, of course, kung liquid imong pagkaon, dili lang po mga humukon nga packaging imuhang gamiton. If sardines, of course, murag pa kita og nasa pouch nga sardines. So, possibilities, no? There are some possibilities nga inguna ana. But in the reality class, kani silang mga food scientists, sila gyud ang nag-concept ana pud nga mga idea nga mauni, pwede ni siya kay kung once sa iyang chemical reaction di ni siya maunsa nga packaging. Of course, there should be standard to be followed in terms about the packaging also and food preparation, no? And when turns about to storing of food, of course, the area kinahanglan naman ni siya store under kani nga degrees. Di gyud dapat upuan, kinahanglan ba ni siya store ani nga kanang kuan storage area nga dapat dili mo kanang kuan, dili mo bugnaw pag maayo. Or else there are different standards nga gi-require depende sa food ninyo nga gina-prepare. Mag-matter gyud na siya, class. Okay. Next is we have, okay, so here, what is food processing? Okay, and food manufacturing. Okay, food processing is the treatment of food substances by changing their properties. Okay? To preserve it. Okay. So, unsa man ni siya ang changing their properties class? Once you are talking about changing of properties na ay nausab sa iyang hitsura, sa iyang panglasa, so naa siya yung mga changes. Okay, for example, bulad. Ang atong bulad is, kung fresh ang isda, ikaw magina siya sa fresh na isda, kung ang atong bulad class is atong i-compare sa ato ang fresh nga isda, of course, na ay changes. Ang atong fresh nga isda, unsa man ang ato ang fresh nga isda. Okay, medyo lang silang presko, pero isda pa gyud siya tan-awon, no? Presko pa gyud siya. Pero if mahimo na siyang bulad, ang inyong hanang panan-awan na karon is mura siya og nausab ang iyahang panagway. Nausab ang iyahang texture, nausab ang iyang appearance, nausab ang iyang taste, nausab ang iyang weight. So naay mga properties nga nausab. Once we are in food preparation or food preservation class, naagyo na siya possibilities nga mausab ang iyang panglasa. But considering no nga makaon paghihapon siya. Okay. So it improves its quality or make it functionally more useful. Okay? Kung maingon ta improve its quality and it is more useful, kay kung maingon ta class ang kung sa mutaas pang iyahang usefulness, so moingon ta class nga ay ang ako ang kanang kuan, ang ako ang isda nga nakuha karon is 20 ka kilo. Okay. Unsa may imong buhaton ana, pero maingon ra ka nga ako lang ning kuan, ay diri lang ning sa balay, pero wa kay ref. Unsa may imong buhaton sa imuhang isda. Pwedeng himuong bulad. Okay, kay mo ay pinakadali kung wala tay ref sa balay. Pwede po din na na tong tinabal. No? So mao na siya no nga importante gyud ang food processing and food preservation. Okay. So when we are talking also with the food processing, when we process the food, the class mo agi man na siya og different or lahi-lahi nga pamaagi. Lahi-lahi nga process. That's why affected yun ang iyahang saman. Affected yun ang iyahang mga properties nga pwedeng ma-change from time to time depende sa process nga ato ang kung ano gihimo or process nga pamaagi according sa ato ang gi-research or nakatunan. Like for example, maghimo ba ta og atsara, maghimo ba ta og kimchi. So lahi-lahi siya og process when in terms to cooking it or preserving the food. Next is food processor take raw animal, vegetables, marine materials and transform them into an edible products through the application of labor, machinery, energy, and scientific knowledge. Of course, from the raw ingredients for the raw meat of the animals, gikan sa raw ingredients nato. Okay, we came up with a product, no? Ato siyang ma-preserve. So when we are preserving food, okay, nag-prepare na ta og food. Mao ni ang ato ang kuan, for example, kanang isda, atong gihimong bulad. Okay. So, there could be nga kinahanglan og pwede rang manual and there could be nga magkinahanglan ta og machineries. Okay. Next is chemical, biological, and mechanical process are used to convert relatively bulky, perishable, and typically inedible food materials into a shelf-stable, convenient, and palatable foods and beverages. No? Dako jud kaayo og role ang food processing and food preservation. Ang pag-preserve nato sa pagkaon class is extending the lifespan of the food that we are about to consume, no? Kaya nga naman class, di man ingon sa tanang panahon nga available ang usa ka pagkaon. Di ba? So, next is food processing is one of the largest manufacturing industries in the United States. So according to FDA, there are approximately 44,000 food processors and 113,000 food warehouse in the USA that were able to provide them good incomes also. And also not by that, also and it provides employment. And always remember, when we are talking about business, daghan pod og natagan og chances when in terms to food business. Tungod aning mga warehouse, tungod of the warehouses and production areas. So it has been said that it provides processed foods to the country and export throughout the world. The processors include gunners, producers, wineries, and other food and beverage manufacturers and distributors. So dili lang gid siya ingon class nga for food consumption, but it is also good for food business. Okay, so there are more than 1.2 million retail food facilities, restaurant, grocery stores, and others that serves or sell foods directly to the consumers. Okay, so what is food research? Unsam day ni siya ang food research class. So when we are talking research, so these are food research, this is the careful, systematic study, investigation, and compilation of information about the food and their components. When you are talking about research class, imong gistudihan, you are studying a specific thing. Like for example, kung mingon ta og food or fruit, atong tan-awon ang ihang physical characteristics. Atong tan-awon ang iyang chemical compounds, chemical nga mga contents, nutritional factors. Kay those things nga atong mag-gather nga data, ato na siyang i-analyze, ato na siyang i-analyze or kuan gamitan og statistical treatment, no? The or data treatment mahimo na siyang usa ka information. So what is food manufacturing? So unsa man ni siya ang gitawag natog food manufacturing class? Okay, food manufacturing is the mass production of food products from raw animal and plant materials using principles of food technology. Food manufacturing class in the manufacturing company, manufacturing site, of course, you were able to say nga ang mga tools and equipments, technologies. It's because remember that technology is the application with the use and help of tools and equipments. Okay, always remember ni food science. Next is what is product development? Okay, product development is the creation of new flavors, colors, or varieties of existing products and or creation of entirely new products. But let's talk first in creating a new product. For example, class, if you have this, I want to have kimchi. Okay. Ang imuhang product is kimchi. So, for the concept, okay, maoni siya ang pagbuhat sa kimchi. Kung direction lang ta, when we are talking about food consumption, kung maingon tag food consumption class, maingon lang ta. Okay, concept, idea, food process, food application, food technology, the application with the use and help of the food tools and equipment is equals to product development. Pero kung negosyo ta class, di ta diretso-diretso nga mo manufacture, di ta diretso-diretso nga mo himo. We have the concept, we have the study, we have the analysis of the product, unsa may kanang raw ingredients, unsa man ang process, unsa man ang pag-preserve ani, what are the chemicals to be added or preservatives to be added, unsay packaging, unsa man ang atong buhaton ani, unsa man ang storage, unsa man ang tanan-tanan, which is planned by the concept. Okay, when you have the concept, when you have the idea, plan if your business or ang imong giplanuhan nga kimchi is sa market research kung feasible ba siya means Kaya ba kahang mabuhi, kaya ba kahang muluntad sa akong gipili nga negosyo or sa product kung anhi ko nga market mag-distribute, anhi ko musugal nga market, anhi ko mo baligya sa akong mga produkto. No? So when you're done with the research, analyze, do the analysis kung pwede ba gini siya, di ba gini siya pwede, ug angayan ba gini siya, o di ba ni siya angayan dinhiya. Or else, wala mo igo sa imuhang market segmentation, or naigo ba sa imuhang market segmentation. No? That is the analysis. Imong gi-analyze how feasible your business is. Kay kung dili nato i-analyze class, kung dili ba feasible ang ato ang business, of course, basi malugi ta diha ah. Sir, nganong naabot man ta sa negosyo? It's because we are not just only this learning in this subject for personal and food consumption, extending the lifespan of the food, but we are also thinking sa future nga panghitabo nga it could be or it can be a source of business or it can be nga mahimo yung business negosyo source of income sa usa ka estudyante pohon kay basin di ay magnegosyo mo. Di ba? We don't know. After the analysis class, anha na ta mo ingon nga mag-build na ta sa tong product once. When we do the market research and the analysis, ang result is the product is feasible. The product is compatible with the market segmentation and with the kanang kuan consumers. So medugay-dugayan na to. Of course, i-build na to ang ato ang produkto. But when we are building our products, dapat we need to assure the quality of the product. Ang kalidad sa ato ang produkto dapat nindot. Dapat ang pag-produce is standard. Dapat ang kani standard. There are different standards nga giplano na sa paghimo palang daan sa concept. So that when you are producing the product to your customers, when you are giving them already nga patilawan ang imong produkto, let them experience the product nga makaingon gyud sila. Mubalik ko, it's because the product is so good and the product is quality. Remember, some people moingon gyud nga mas nindot gyud nga barato ra. Pero ang tinud-anay nga ganahan nga makasave ari ko sa kalidad o ang ganahan gyud nga nindot gyud ang ilahang ko ang experience ari ko sa kalidad, no? And after that, building the product, of course, inikahuman ana adto ta sa product development. Ang product development nga atong giingon pa is ang first, ang new nga product. So naa na tay new nga product, naa na tay first nga item. Like for example, ang wrong ingredients na to is tubo, naa na tay asukal. Okay? Ang atong pag-distribute sa asukal. But, di iba niingon to, when you are talking about product development, you are improving your product or creating another variety of product, variety of business nga ang atong raw ingredients gihapon is saman tubo. O, after sa to ang asukal, unsa pa may lain na itong mahimong example. Okay, ang atong another nga mahimong example or mahatag na pod nga produkto is mingon ta suka. Pwede. Pwede ang suka. Moingon ta og sir, ang kanang iyahang kanang pinug-an sir kay i-chop na siya sir nya mahimo na siyang fertilizers. Pwede. No? So we came up with products, pwede pod variety of color, ang ato ang sukal, pwede na tong kolor na lain, atong suka, pwede na tong kolor na lain, pwede. But kung negosyo na sa class, always consider the product development strategy. Mao gini siya pinaka-importante nga ato ang lantawon and i-consider the different strategies. Kaya of course, the cycle that we have can give us the idea how feasible our product is when moabot na ni siya sa market. Remember, in the global market, There is a lot of competition. That's why when we are providing the products that we have, ang atong buhaton is to ensure that the quality is served, that the quality is there para ma-ensure nato nga atong customers is magbalik-balik. Mao na siya pinaka-importante class when we are talking about product development. Next is what is quality assurance and quality control? Okay, both the same ra gyud sila no nga quality. The quality that we need to provide to our consumers. Quality nga ato ang dapat i-ensure nga ang ato ang produkto is naga-follow gyud sa kalidad nga ato ang gihuna-huna. Pero naay kalahian si quality assurance o si quality control. So both of them are quality assurance and quality control involve the process of ensuring that products are manufactured correctly and that ingredients and finished products are tested and meet safety and quality specification. So, quality assurance versus quality control. Unsa may nakadiferensya ani nila class? When you are talking about quality assurance, it is focusing on the prevention of defects and the manages the quality of the product. Like for example, ang general manggod ni siya class, when you are talking about quality assurance, the general, moingon ka nga, prevention of the defects. Okay, ang tanan para dili madaot, no? Para dili madaot og dali, iagi ni siya sterilization ang kuan. Okay. Quality assurance, iagi ni siya sa sterilization para sure good nga itong mga lata nga gamit is safety. Pero si quality control mauni siya ang before ipagawas, i-control sa nato ang quality bi para gyud sure nga inigawas after sa pagdagan sa production, wa bay nasipyat nga nahiwi ang label, nalumping ang lata before nato ipagawas sa ato ang consumers. Remember that in food preservation, once there is a defect, like for example in canning, naagali depekto, naagali problema sa lata, that means ang mga consumers pwedeng dili mo palit ana. It's because once there is a defect, of course, ang una-unaon dayon ni consumer, basig na daot na ni siya. Get it? So, maunay kalahian sa duha. Remember, quality control, it talks about the identification of defects. Unsa man ang mga depekto, asa man ang mga nasa before na to ipagawa sa kumpanya. Okay. Next is, what is food regulation? Unsa man ang food regulation day class? It is the process of determining standards for products, defining safety, and inspecting products. Regulation are set by the government. Okay. So, food safety class is di lang ta moingon nga safety na akong pagkaon. Remember, there are government agencies, no, nga mo check sa atuang pagkaon if ang atuang pagkaon nga gi-prepare is qualified ba sa ilahang standard o dili. And also the result kung ang mga chemical content, the chemical reaction, remember class, and every processes, no, nga atong ginabuhat, naag gina siya yung mga chemical reaction. Once there is a chemical reaction, dili yun na makita sa ato ang basic lang ang mga mata. No? It needs study. It is needed study of microscopic evidence and different tests to ensure that the food we are preparing is safety. Nga no, sa may trabaho ano ng food regulation, this is to ensure that we have the same standards. Ang tanang nag-prepare og pagkaon nga i-deliver, i-provide sila mga consumers is na ay usa ka standard nga gi-follow and mga standards when it comes to preparing the food. Okay, that is food safety regulations. Next is preserving food. Sir, Usam da ini ang preserving food. Okay. Once we're talking about food preservation class, this is a process where we are extending the lifespan of our food. Very good. So, we are extending sa lifespan sa ato ang pagkaon. Okay, in what way? Na may lain-lain nga mga processes, lain-lain nga mga ways, lain-lain nga gitawag nato og food preservation methods. Of course, niagi sa da siya og standards and specific study. No, di man tamo ka ng kuan, di man tamo kuan class. We will not be applying processes which are or which is wala pay kanang existing nga study nga okay gid siya or effective or wala ra siya mga result nga makadaot sa lawas. But always remember, food preservation is a technique to prevent food spoilage, food poisoning, and microbial contamination in food. So that means we are preventing food from its spoilage. Aron dili madaot. Of course, butangan siya preservatives, food poisoning atong ilikay sa mga microbiological hazards and microbial contamination para mas mutaas pa ang iyahang lifespan. Because once the food is already contaminated, that means nga dili pod mo taas ang iyahang lifespan kay madaot man siya. Okay? Food preservation is one of the methods to protect food from unwanted microbial growth. After the food is produced, we store and protect by covering the rice and curry with the lids to keep away flies and other insects. Okay, that is cross-contamination. So, unsaon man nato pag-prolong sa tong life is ato ng palangawan. Unsaon man nato pag-prolong sa tong life if di nato na siya tarungon og perform, tarungon pagbuhat. So, mahitabo is madaot ang pagkaon. Okay. Next is, what we have in here is food processing or the introduction to food preservation. Okay, food is the basic necessity of life and invaluable for healthy existence of human being raised of human beings. No? So most of our food consists of agricultural and livestock products which are usually seasonal and spoil quickly. Remember, ang pagkaon is maunay perminti natong kinahanglanon kada adlaw. And ang atong mga sources sa ana class is naa sa bukid, naa sa nasa to sa farm, or it could be naa sa syudad, pwede, depende, but always remember no, ang atuang pagkaon is dili siya mo stay forever. Like for example, kung moingon taog, ato ang mga harvest ng mga fruits, like for example, may tag strawberry, no? Ang ato ang strawberry is di na siya ingon nga for the whole time gyud na nga magsige kuan og strawberry pero may strawberry dili na ay season nga walay ay time nga walay strawberry. Of course, ato siyang i-preserve para sa time nga whiting strawberry na paghihapon tayo ma-serve nga strawberry sa ato ang mga consumers. No? So, importante kaayo. And not only by that nga kung makaserve lang taan na, it is also useful nga ang ubang mga tagalaing lugar nga wala katilaw sa pagkaon dinhi sa tong region makatilaw pod no ang uban. So from the start of slaughtering, from the start of harvest class ang pagkaon nga ato ang gi harvest or ang baka, baboy or animals nga ato ang gi-slaughter at the end at the day nga inyohan lang gi-slaughter class ni end ang ilahang life cycle. So that means mag-anam na po na sila. Every day is a deterioration process. No, mag-anam na siya og daot. Padung observe an apple bagong gipitas. Imong ibutang sa lamisa for 1 week. Mukuyubot na siya, di ba? Or mukulubot. So that means there is already nutritional value, losses of nutritional value sa tuang pagkaon. Okay, so with the rapid increase in the population of the country, an enormous problem of maintaining sufficient, safe, and nutritious food supplies always exist. There is a need more quantity of food, and the same time, good quality food is required. For example, food should be safe, wholesome, nutritive, and balanced. Therefore, it is essential to possess knowledge of processing and preservation food methods that produce or preserve best possible food over a long period of time with minimum loss of nutritive value. Of course, class, when we are in food preparation, bisan pa man og ato nang ang food ato na nang preserved, kinahanglan dili gihapon mawad-an og nutritional value ang pagkaon nga atong gi-prepare. Kay bisan pa magmaunsa na kapag kaon diha if wala na kanang nutritional value, useless lang gihapon na siya. Di ba? Ma-useless lang gihapon na siya. Okay, that's why it is really important that people, especially farmer, knows about the different food processing methods and preservation methods, no? Kaya aron, they will be knowledgeable. Ang kulang gid sa itong mga farmers kay mga tools and equipments nga magamit nila. Next, we have it here, importance of food preservation. So, the importance of food preservation is food preservation. It is an activities, no, are also old as human race. So, mas dugay na po na siya class. Before pa itong mga time class is, of course, exist na ang food preservation. Lahi-lahi lang ang ilahang pamaagi before, no? Lahi-lahi po ang standard, lahi na po ato ang standards karon. Maybe ang ilahang mga traditional way is dili siya acceptable sa science, no? Food science, especially for the food regulation. So possible siya class hindi sila makapasar kay wala man sila ni follow og standards kay karon ra man nagka-standards, no? Di gyud yung karon adlaw. But tugid ko dugay na gina siya na implement ang food standards or food regulation. So it had an important role in the spread of civilization. Delay in the consumption of processing of fresh foods alters its freshness, colors, nutritive texture, palatability, and nutritive safety. Oh, there is a change of their properties. So naagihapoy changes sa ilahang properties class. So in order to make food available throughout the year, humans have developed methods to prolong their storage life, no? In order to preserve them. There are different methods in food preservation. Okay, the rotting process can be postponed by adding preservatives. Remember these words? Preservatives and optimizing storage conditions or applying modern techniques. Therefore, preservation of food is imperative in order to increase their shelf life. So, mao na siya importansya sa food preservation. So, need for food preservation. So I have this quote here, class, that says, "Eat what you can and can what you can't." Okay, eat what you can and can what you can't. That means kung ato siyang hubaron, class, kana ang kaya lang nimo and i-preserve or posto nato ang dili nato kaya. That means kung sobra ang atoang pagkaon nga ginatake, sobra sa atoang kinahanglan atong i-preserve para makaon og mapuslan pa in the future use or food consumption. No? Mao na siya atong huna-hunaon. Okay, so when food is available, more than its present use or consumption, it should be preserved for the future utilization. Okay? So thus preservation activities ensures proper utilization of food. Preservation of fresh produce is needed for the following reason. Okay? Preservation of fresh product is needed to be needed for the following reasons. Number one, we have it here. For increasing availability of certain food which have short growing season, such as fruits and vegetables, for the use throughout the year. Kanang mga seasonal nga pagkaon, kinahanglan na to i-preserve para sa panahon nga wala ni mga pagkauna, daatay makaon, no? O makatilaw paghihapon ta ana. Bisag wala dili nila ting season nga panahon. Okay? Next is for utilization of surplus crops and prevent wastage. Like for example, na kay nabunog nga mga strawberry kay dili na ma-deliver sa imong suki kay naibunog. Usa may buhaton nato ana ato siyang food preserve or ato siyang i-preserve para mapuslan pa in the future use. Like for example, ang strawberry nga nabunog, himuong strawberry jam para mapuslan pa. Next is for saving money by preserving food when they are most plentiful and cheaper and are good quality. Like for example, bulad. Konting barato sa bulad class, o sa isda, I mean, daghan ang komprahon ni manghihimuay og bulad. It's because iya hamang i-preserve. Dugay man na madaot, dili madali madaot. No? Karon nga panahon kay kani ang akong ingredients, ako ang food preservation nga negosyo nga bulad. Hala, barato lang kay tag 50 ang kilo. Mo palit ko og daghan para mas makabarato. Next is for saving money by preserving foods when they are most plentiful at the time. Okay, humanan ni siya. Next is for producing food which are easier to storage, distribute, and transport that can be made available in all places all the time. Like for example, canned goods, mga dilata, no? Ligon siya i-travel, dugay siya madaot. It's because of its packaging, ang iyahang packaging. So, that means nga ang kani siyang mga pagkauna pwede pa ni siyang ma-transfer to different region. Okay? Next is for meeting the needs of the people for food in secluded and difficult areas. Like for example, class, ang uban kasi kasagaran bakuan naman no maabot naman gyud sa kanang kabihasnan. For example lang kaning mga panahon aning kriting kalamidad katong pagbagyo, mga for example tong bagyong Yolanda, pure hinumdom lang. No? So unsa may gipanghatag dito ang mga noodles, mga tinapa, mga pagkaon nga dugay madaot. It's because nga naman ang area dito anay ubang dili pa masudlan, ihagbong na lang helicopter usa, ituno lang helicopter usa ang pagkaon para lang yun nay makaon ang mga tao dito and it is very needed or very very useful ang food preservation level na ang kaning ang ubang mga pagkaon nga dugay gyud malata o dugay ma-destroy. It's because mao ni siya ang mga pagkaon nga dali-dali nga mabunlot or mabira or ma-distribute in times nga maglisod gyud. No? So, for ensuring supply of protective food in homes, hotel, and other such places. Like for example, kung maingon ta nga pang 1 month na ko ang grocery sa balay para stock of food. Okay, magpalit ko og daghan nga dilata. Okay, mao ni siya, mao na. Okay, storage. So, dugay siyang madaot. Okay. So, definition of food preservation. Okay. Food preservation can be defined as the science that deals with the process of prevention of decay or spoilage of food, thus allowing it to be stored in a fit condition for future use. Okay, prevention of delay means food preservation. Mauna siya. Okay, next. In other words, food preservation is the process in which the perishable food materials are given in suitable physical or chemical treatment to prevent their wastage or spoilage and to retain their nutritive value for long periods. Third, microorganisms are responsible for causing or accelerating spoilage, but also in some cases use of benign or good bacteria and yes, add specific qualities and preserve for food. For example, cheese, wine. Spoilage results in loss of quality, edibility, and nutritive value of food. Preservation usually involves the process of treating and handling food to stop, greatly slow down spoilage, as well as maintaining or creating nutritional value, texture, flavor of the food. Next is preservation mainly prevents the growth of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. It is also includes process to check the oxidation of fats which causes rancidity to the inhibit natural aging and discoloration due to enzymatic browning. In some cases, preservation also includes sealing of food materials after heat treatment to avoid recontamination with microbes such as canning. Methods like drying allow food to be stored without any special control for a long period of time. Okay, next paragraph is a number of preservation methods include drying, spray drying, freeze drying, freezing, vacuum packing, canning, and irradiation, and adding preservatives or insert gases such as carbon dioxide. Other methods that not only help to preserve food but also add flavor including pickling, salting, smoking, preserving in sugar syrup, and curing. Next is aims and goals of food preservation. Unsa man ang mga aims and goals when we are doing food preservation? Of course, we have it here. Aims of food preservation is to prevent undesirable changes in the wholesomeness, nutritive value of food, sensory quality of food, and reduce chemical, physical, and physiological changes of objectionable nature and eliminate contamination. Second paragraph, the goal of food preservation is to increase the shelf life of food while keeping it safe. It ultimately ensures its supply during times of scarcity and natural drought. The main objective of preserving include lengthening lag phase of bacteria growth, delaying undesired autolysis, minimizing pest, physical damage, and preventing microbial actions. Okay, the next topic is advantages of food preservation. What are the advantages man of food preservation? Class, nanong maka-advantage man ta sa food preservation? So may mga advantages niya nga naka-good sa atua as human beings. Okay, food preservation can result in several advantages, some of which are substantial. These includes the following. Number one, increased shelf life. Of course, ang pagpataas sa lifespan sa tuang pagkaon. Decreased hazards from microbial pathogen. Of course, ang mga contamination. Decrease spoilage, microbial and enzymatic. Okay, spoilage, decreasing its spoilage, dili siya dali madaot. Like for example, mayingon ta og freezing, no? Possible na siya. Inactivation of anti-nutritional factors. Ensured round the year availability of seasonal foods. perishable food that can be transported too far of distance from the site to production. Of course, na-transfer ang usa ka pagkaon, ang canned goods to different regions. Ang ubang tao nga wala katilaw ani nga pagkaon, nakatilaw aning pagkauna, it's because it is well food preserved and gitransport siya. Okay. Next is um, increased ava- um, increased availability of convenience food. No, ang availability, paspas rea, ready to serve. Naanay mga dilata karon nga easy open and pwede nang makaon diretso. Next is increased variety of food, some which enhance sensory properties and nutritional attributes. Kani siya is a product development ni class, kaning increased variety of foods. Preservation, in some cases, produce a different form of products which are great importance in various cuisine. Example, raisins, squash, and wines made from grapes. So, scope of food preservation. What are the scope of food preservation? Asa man kutob si food preservation? Food preservation prevents losses and wastage of nutrient from food and allows people to benefit from the nutrient concentrated foods. So, enormous reduction of spoilage and wastage of perishable food build up countries' economy by making more food available to people at the affordable prices. Of course, kung daghan ang stock karon maghimo tag bulad, of course ang kana nga pagbulad, ang kanang gihimo nga bulad, of course mas barato-barato gid na kaysa compare sa bulad nga mahal ang presyo sa fresh nga fish o mahal pud ang bulad nga mahimo. Okay, it provides much needed employment avenues to many individuals in food processing and allied fields, with the spark in growth of preservation industries and demand for the trained personnel has substantially increased. Of course, it's not only for consumption, it's also for business, but good thing is it also delivers, no? It also provide employment. So, with the recent liberalization policy and lifting of trade restriction, there is a vast potential and exports of the processed foods. Multinational and giants are finding India as a promising market. In the case, Indian products can meet the international standards of quality as well as compete successfully. We can earn value foreign exchange, especially Philippines. No? Kung ang India maayo po kaayo sa food preservation, of course, di pud pahulahi ang Pilipinas. Daghan man pud tag mga exports, no? Maka-export man sad ta when in terms or else bisag local nga distribution. Daghan man pud tag produkto nga ato ang na-distribute during sa ato ang mga panginahanglan, like for example ang ato ang kuan mga basic lang kanang gipang kuan na to gipang food process. So that's why class in food preservation good we are very careful and keen with regards to microbiological hazards, no? Kay mao gani sila ang makapadeteriorate, makadaot sa ato ang himuon nga food processing. That's why after sa tong luto-luto ato nang ibilin sa kuan, ato nang ibilin sa storage area nato, atong tan-awon o wala ba yung madaot to ensure that sakto ba ang atong gibuhat, quality ba ang ato ang gibuhat. Remember, dili mo end ang ato ang pagbantay, ang ato ang pag-care sa tuang pagkaon after nato giluto, gibutang sa sudlanan dili. We must also check the storage to ensure the quality of the product nga ato ang ihatag sa ato ang customers. Not only by that, kundi ang i-ensure nato ang kalidad sa ato ang kanon nga gihimo nato nga produkto. Kay di raman pod nga sila ang mukaon atong i-distribute sa atong mga consumers, but also kita pod ang mukaon. Nakuha? Okay. So, thank you very much everyone and good morning. God bless and see you next meeting. Thank you.